destroyed.
Yeah.
They never found the Ark of the Covenant, which was inside Solomon's temple. Right? Solomon's temple was destroyed. And you kind of see why. Destroyed by the Babylonians. And they took all that gold and stuff. And that leads into a whole lot of other Bible stories. Drinking out of the gold cup and handwriting on the wall and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Everything gets linked together when you understand. It's amazing. So you see here where Solomon's temple is, and then Herod's temple, which is above it. As the temples are built, they get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? But as you can see there, Solomon's temple is really, it was twice the size of the tabernacle. And the tabernacle wasn't all that big in comparison. It was big for slaves to be building and carrying around from place to place. But in comparison, it really wasn't that big. When you look at these dimensions, now, when we look at, and I'm going to carry this here, when we look at the picture up here of the temple is there. This is a courtyard, but the actual holy place and Holy of Holies is right there. That could fit in my yard. If you see my yard, right? And I don't have a huge yard, right? So it's amazing how this always brings to mind, and when you think about the cities and the temples that were built to these pagan gods, they were ginormous, right? God doesn't need ginormous. He worked with Jesus and 12 men. It's not about size. It's about obedience. Okay? And so this is what we had to work with. So in your books, if you're like me and you do a lot of writing, okay? So you can draw it like this. The length of the temple was 90 feet. Some books will say cubits, some books will say something else, all right? 90 feet. The width is 30. So you have 90 by 30. The height is 45. The height, 45.
45 feet high.
That was the whole building. That was the holy place and then the Holy of Holies. All that together. All right? Now, to be a little more interesting, the Holy of Holies, where the Ark of the Covenant was placed, was 30 by 30 by 30. I think we talked about that late in our lesson last week. 30 by 30 by 30. So what kind of shape was that room? It was square. And it was funny, I was thinking of it just this week. The Holy of Holies. So what's the main characteristic about that room? It was what? No, what was the main characteristic about that room? I just said it, and I said it twice. It was holy. It was holy. So I'm thinking of that, coming down on the fair, meditating on it. And that room was square. What's the saying when people told you you were too good? What would they call you back in the day?
Square.
They called you square, didn't they? Don't be such a square.
Yeah.
The Holy of Holies was a square room. It was about holiness. It was about righteousness. Yet, back in the day, when you were a goody two-shoes, they called you a square. I just found that interesting. I don't know if that's where that originated, but that is, and that was an insult back then, to be called a square. We have to realize that man's insults are God's commendations. are you and men shall move on. Right? When we're persecuted, we need to start rejoicing and not getting upset because man doesn't like us. Man is not going to like us because we are trying to live holy. All right?
Reverend, I just had a thought
Yes.
as to why the construction probably took place off-site. Is that I believe that, when you do construction, there's ingress, shackler, there's even that. So probably to keep the place as holy and as clean as possible.
Yes.
That's why maybe construction was taken off-site.
Interesting. That's a good thought. I mean, mind you, they still were doing things there, but it lessened the possibility. That's a good thought. That's an excellent thought. I never even saw that anywhere when I was researching it. So that's a really good thought. Yes,
Also, in that context, but then you won't find a whole pile of stuff sitting all around the lot.
debris. You're gonna find a whole pile of debris, trash.
Yeah.
What? Good point. What was there was meant to be there. It was made to be there. It was already cut in certain dimensions so that when it got there, it was put right in place.
And everyone already knew what their role was.
Everybody knew what their role was.
So there was no need for conversation, just came, you did what had to be done, everybody's heart was on one accord.
Love it.